Once again, welcome to Network Ethics. So as I mentioned earlier, before start this recording, so this batch is going to start. In this 5IN1 Firewall Mastery Program, we are going to start we are going to give a Paloalto, FortiGate, and Checkpoint, and Cisco ASA Firewall and Cisco FTD Firewall. So Cisco FTD and Paloalto and FortiGate Checkpoint, these four firewalls are the market leaders as of now, who is ruling the network security system firewall industry in entire global. Okay, so if you go for any companies, right? So if you go for any companies, they might have at least any one of these brand product, a firewall product. They have to protect their protect their organization, guys. Okay, because almost all, okay, we have a number of next generation firewalls, but these four brands are widely occupied. 65 to 70% of the markets are occupied by these products, and especially Palo Alto and FortiGate is dominating entire globe. Okay, and Checkpoint and Cisco also the next level leaders. But comparatively, if you're looking for all these four vendors, okay, Palo Alto and FortiGate are market dominators. Okay, so if you go for, that's the reason, if you go for any company, if you're working for any company, they might have at least any one of these products. Okay, max to max they will have multiple products in this list, but so when very least, guys, don't do any writing in the screen. Okay, so just a minute, guys. I'll stop my screen. I need to disable. I forgot to disable annotation. Guys, if you get bored, or if you're not get anything as interest, you can leave. Or if you're not having any idea to learn firewall products, you can just leave. Okay, you don't waste your time, guys. I'm really sorry. Because this is you're wasting your time. This is not for harmful to me. Okay, so please, if you're interested, please try to learn. If it is anything is interesting, try to learn something new. Okay, don't waste your time. Thank you, guys. Just a minute, I'll stop my screen and I'll reshare it, guys. Okay, fine. So this is as I mentioned earlier, so these four products vendor, actually here we are learning 5 products, but one of the 2 products we are learning from the one same vendor, which is Cisco. Okay, the reason to learn Cisco Firepower, you must have a knowledge of Cisco ASA. That is the reason I have included in this 5IN1 Firewall Master Program, in this compo. Okay, so you can, it just like it's a next generation firewall. It's similarly, you can just learn Palo Alto, FortiGate, or Checkpoint the same way you can learn, but firepower implementation and understanding is very difficult. Okay, so first for that you must have a knowledge of ASA, how ASA firewall is working, how to implement ASA firewall. Then only you can go with the advanced level, and this is a traditional firewall. ASA, it's a traditional firewall, and we are going with a next generation firewall. You need to learn next generation firewall, Cisco Firepower. So for that you must have a basics of ASA. So that's the reason we are included in this in this compo here for a Cisco ASA as well. Okay, so to learn this firewall. Okay, so as I mentioned, these 4 vendors are market leaders. So if you're looking for, so I hope most of you guys are working in a industry, whether you're working as a network engineer or whether you're working as a IT admins, right? So network admins. So you know, so how industry expects, how industry or how employees are expect the employees. So they might, if you go for any job portal, right? So if you just type network admin or even network admin, nowadays the companies are demanding the people for a network administrator. He also need to know the firewall products. Okay, so always corporate will look the people who can manage multiple technologies. Okay, because they're going to have a multiple clients. The clients might have a different kind of products. Okay, so for each product, they will not able to hire the people differently. Okay, so they, for a cost cutting purpose, they will hire the people who can able to manage multiple products simultaneously. Okay, so that's the reason. So any job portal like Naukri or LinkedIn, if you go anywhere, just type the designation like just like a network engineer, network security, or cyber security engineers, or uh, firewall administrator. In that, if you go with the job skill or description, right? So they will demand just like multiple products. Okay, so it's not a single product. So if you learn this multiple products as a combo, definitely it is going to boost your career. Okay, so you will reduce your, I mean, it will increase your job security as well. So you guys are know very well. So if you are already working in that industry, so it's just for info. Okay, so since these four vendors are dominating the market, so obviously you will get lot of opportunities. So that is the benefit to have this, to learn this component. Okay. So apart from that, so in this 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program, each we get into the each firewall's curriculum information. Okay. So first, actually, as a first firewall, okay, we are going to learn first firewall FortiGate only. FortiGate firewall. Okay, so before enter into the Fortinet curriculum, I just want to give some. I mean, I just want to give an overview of Palo Alto curriculum. Okay, so just a minute. I'll stop my screen. I need to take some one more info. Okay, I mean the curriculum information. So which kind of curriculum we are going to cover in this Palo Alto. So I'll stop my screen and I'll resume back, guys. Okay. Yes. So as I mentioned in this 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery Program, here you are going to learn, it's a product-based training, so which also covered certification as well. Okay, certification-based training as well. So we will include some certification as well in this training. Okay, so so first product, we are going to start with FortiGate. So FortiGate, previously it is called NSC4. Okay, reason in past year they have changed the certification is name is called FC, Fortinet Security. Okay, Professor. So which is no certification include means there is no global certification. So it's a certification oriented training. So we'll give a training only. The certification you have to you have to pay for the certification with the vendor, and you have to uh, write the examination. If you pass, you will get a NSC4. I mean, if you write the examination in Palo Alto, you can write an examination called PCNSA or PCNSC. It's a vendor recognized certificate. It's a global certification. Okay, so we'll cover up to that curriculum, and we will make you ready for that examination. We'll help you for the preparation center, and you have to pay with the vendors, and you have to attend the examination. And if you are cleared, and you will be either PCNSA or PCNSE certified engineer in Palo Alto. If you're looking for a certification in Checkpoint, we'll cover up to CCSA and CCSC certifications. So you can first, if you're already in a Checkpoint certification, if then if you have a CCSA certification, After completion of this curriculum, you can go for a CCSC certification. But if you are very new and you want to start your career with a checkpoint, or if you want to do certification in a checkpoint product as your organization is asked, so first you have to start with CCSA. Okay. So either if you're first you need to get a certification in a CCSA checkpoint certified security administrator, and then you can go with the expert level, checkpoint certified security expert level. Okay. So, but Paloalto, there is no prerequisite. So either you can go with a PCNSA or PCNSA. Okay, directly. So there is no prerequisite. It's an expert level certification. Paloalto certified network security expert, Paloalto certified network security associate. Okay, so or administrator. Okay, so either you can go with a PCNSA or PCNSC. Okay, but you must have, if you want to go for a certification called a PCNSC, you need to learn one more product, not only Paloalto firewall, and that is called Panorama. Panorama, it's a device which is called centralized management. Let me complete one by one, okay, so that you can able to know properly. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are going to start with the FortiGate firewall NSC4, right? So I mean, previously it is called NSC4. So get trained with the FortiGate firewall, and you can, if you go for a certification, and you can write a examination called NSC4, and which is called network security expert level, which is this is professional certification, professional level certification, and which is mainly focusing FortiGate. I mean, which is focusing only FortiGate firewall previously, but right now they have changed the certification track. If you want to uh, if you want to get do certification with the Fortinet product, okay, so Fortinet product, the Fortinet have FortiGuard is the firewall product name. It's a product of. So I would see a lot of students are getting confused with the Fortinet and FortiGuard. They think Fortinet is the different firewall and FortiGuard is the different firewall. Actually, Fortinet, it's not a firewall name. Fortinet is the brand name, and who has multiple products in that brand, they have one of the product called firewall product called FortiGate firewall. Okay, this is their first product. Fortinet have multiple product like Forti Security, Forti Mail, Forti Web, Forti Switch, Forti Access Point, Forti Wi-Fi, Forti Authenticated, right? So lot of n number of product they have. In that, one of the major product which is called FortiGate firewall. Okay, so don't get, if you have that confusion, just get clear now. Okay, don't get confused. Fortinet is the different firewall product, and FortiGate is a different firewall product. Fortinet is a brand name, and one of the product of Fortinet is FortiGate firewall. Okay, clear? So now, what their certification, if you want to go for NSC4 certification, you must complete a FortiGate security professional FCP. Okay, FCP certification, Fortinet certified professional. Okay, so this certification you must complete, and this is for entry level, or it's a mandate, one of the mandatory examination where you want to get a certification in a Fortinet. Okay, whether you're looking for NSC4 or NSC5, NSC6, right, up to NSC8, we have different kind of certification. Okay, so NSC4, if you want to get NSC4 certification, you must complete the core program, which is talk about FortiGate firewall. Here you are going to learn only FortiGate firewall. Okay, and then you will become a Fortinet security certified professional. Okay, you will not become NSC4 engineer. You will just become a certified professional engineer. And if you want to get NSC4 certification, certified engineer, then you must learn any one of the product called Forti Manager. You need to take as a allied paper Forti Manager or Forti Analyzer. So FortiManager, it's similar to Paloalto Panorama. It's a centralized product where you can manage multiple FortiGate firewall under one roof. Okay. FortiAnalyzer, it's a tool or it's a device which is segregating the log in a centralized location. Okay. So guys, please mute yourself. Okay, I forget to mute. So now to avoid the noises, I'm going to mute everyone. So if you have any queries or any doubts, you can raise the hand and I'll give you the last. Guys, to avoid the noises, I have muted everyone. Okay. So if you have any queries, you can, meanwhile, if you have any queries or doubt, you can just share in the chat. Okay. Or if you want to talk to me, I'll give you the last 10 to 15 minutes as a Q&A session. You can ask your queries on that Q&A session, guys. Okay. So thank you. So now, so if you get a certification after completion of FCP, okay, you need to go for an examination of either FortiManager or FortiAnalyzer to become an NSE 4 certified engineer. So the cost for one of the costliest certification in this 5IN1 Firewall Mastery program. So for FCP certification itself, it will around cost 400 USD, but one of the worthiest certification as well. Okay, and after going for a first you need to get a core certification. Okay, so FCP, and if you are completed core certification, and you will have a 3 years validity. So after 3 years, either you need to go for a recertification if you need a certification in a NSC, I mean Fortinet firewall side, okay, Fortinet brand, or if you want to upgrade your certification, you already have FCP certified engineer, right? So you're certified. So you can upgrade your certification like by learning any other products, either FortiManager or FortiAnalyzer, and you can appear for the another examination, which is called Allied, right? So specialized certification. Okay. So where after get certification on any one of this product, right? So let's say you take an exam on FortiManager and you have appear for the written examination. These are the written examinations only. It's not a lab. Okay. So after get certified in a FortiManager specialist, then you will be called as a NSC 4 certified engineer. And that certification will give another 3 years validity for your entire certification. Okay. So after that, if you want to, after 3 years, that certificate will be expired. So either you have to upgrade your certification, and for upgraded purpose, you need to go for NSC 5, NSC 5 certification, or NSC 6 or NSC 7. Directly you can go. But for any certification, NSC 4 or NSC 5 or NSC 6 or up to NSC 8, any certification, this FCP is the core examination. Okay, this is the must-having certification. If you have a FCP certification, then you can go for directly, you can write a NSC 8 as well. So where you are going to learn all the Fortinet products. SD-WAN, Forti SD-WAN, FortiManager, FortiAnalyzer, FortiToken, FortiAuthenticator, FortiMail, FortiWeb, like that, n number of FortiAccess point. All the products you are going to learn, and you will be expert. It's similar to CCIE security certification. If you achieved NSC 8, it's just like a similar to you got a CCIE certification. The same kind of value you have in this NSC 8, guys. Okay, it's totally depends on you. So the having a certification, it's not mandatory. Having a knowledge only, it's a mandatory thing. So all the vendors are not going to ask, all the employees are not going to ask the certification. But if you have a well-versed knowledge, right? So they will definitely they're ready to take you. Okay, so no need to worry about if really need, or if you have a certification, exactly that is going to give some additional value to your career, but it's not mandatory. Okay, so based on your track, you can choose the certification, guys. Okay, so after FortiGate, we are going to cover with Paloalto. Okay, after FortiGate, we are going to cover with Paloalto for this 5IN1 Firewall Mastery program. So in Paloalto, again, you can go for any one of the certifications. There are two type of certification program in Palo Alto: PCNSA and PCNSE. PCNSE, which is purely talk about Palo Alto firewall. Palo Alto firewall. Here you are going to learn Palo Alto firewall, where you are going to manage day-to-day activities of your firewall implementation, like firewall policy configuration, object creations, security implementations, right? Everything you will do, where you are going to have a knowledge of Palo Alto firewall only. But if you want to become a PCNSE certified engineer, then you need to additionally learn one more product called Panorama. Panorama. So the Panorama, previously in FortiGate we discussed about FortiManager and FortiAnalyzer, right? So FortiManager and FortiAnalyzer. FortiAnalyzer, it's collecting the logs, and it will segregate all the logs from the central from your Fortinet products, Fortinet firewalls, right? Fortinet 40 products, and it will segregate and it will collect under one roof, and it will segregate. Okay, and it will give you the better visualization for uh, data. I mean your log analysis purpose. Okay, but Panorama will do both the activities. Panorama, it's a single device, but it can do two roles. Either it can act like a manager, centralized manager, where you can manage multiple Palo Alto firewalls under one roof. The Palo Alto firewall might be located in anywhere else in the anywhere else in any geographical location, but you have a reachability from manager. You can manage all your Palo Alto firewall, 100 plus firewalls, thousands of the firewalls. You can able to manage under Panorama, okay, or you can make this Panorama as a centralized log collector device, similar to FortiAnalyzer. In Fortinet, they have a different products for that process. Okay, but Palo Alto, they given a single product, and that single product can act like either manager or analyzer. Okay, so you are going to learn. You need to learn about this product as well to get the certification called PCNSE. Okay, so there is no prerequisites. You can directly write a PCNSE examination if you have a knowledge of Panorama. Clear? Clear, right? So our curriculum, which include Palo Alto Firewall and Panorama as well. Okay, so you're after completion of this training program, you are able to manage Palo Alto Firewall along with Panorama, okay, without any doubts. Okay, so after Palo Alto, we'll go with a checkpoint firewall, guys. Okay, so this training program will go with one by one only. So we'll not cover all the products within a time. First, we'll complete one firewall, then we'll go with another firewall only. Okay, so we'll not miss all the firewalls simultaneously. Okay, so after completion of Palo Alto, you'll directly go for checkpoint firewall and checkpoint. As I mentioned earlier, so CCSA and CCSC both will be covered, and here we'll talk about the Gaia operating system. So Gaia operating system is nothing, checkpoint operating system. Okay. And after that only, after completion of these three firewalls, we will come into the Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD. We'll cover both. Okay, not simultaneously. First we'll cover ASA, then we'll immediately start FTD firewall. Okay, so ASA and FTD, it will take around 1.5 months. Palo Alto itself, it will take around, since we are going with the weekdays batch and daily 1 hour session. Okay, Palo Alto itself, it will take 1.5 months. The reason, comparatively any other firewalls, Palo Alto have more content, okay, more valuable content. So you are going to implement in a different way. So all we will be covered in Palo Alto. Okay, and checkpoint, it will take 3 weeks to complete, 3 to 4 weeks, so 1 month. Let's just make it as 1 month, max to max. Okay, and FortiGate firewall, it will take 1 month. Okay, so 5 minimum, it will take 5 months to complete all this 5 firewall, guys. Okay, so max to max, it depends on the, since we are going with the weekdays batch, right? We don't have a session on weekends. So if suppose you need any additional sessions on, or any Q&A sessions, it depends on the your batchmate active active, based on that the session will be increased. So max to max, so for me it will take 5 months. So max to max it will take 6 months to complete the entire 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery program. And those who are going to join this 5-in-1 Firewall Mastery program, okay, you are going to have additional offer, like you can, after within 5 months, if you're completed all the firewalls, okay, so you want to retake any of the firewall or entire 5-in-1 firewall, you have next one year you have additional validity, almost 1.5 years. Okay, so we give additional validity after completion of your training. You will get another 1 year validity to regain your knowledge. So if you want to reattempt any product, so you are doing some certification, you are planning for some certification in Palo Alto after 1 year. So you need, after 1 year, there might be a curriculum updates which is given by the vendor, okay, in a certification level. So you want to get trained with the latest curriculum, then you can utilize this offer. So next 1 year, after completion of your training program, you have 1 more year validity extra. So you can retake your all the firewalls, even all the 5-in-1 firewalls you can take it, or any one of the firewall also you can take without paying anything for a number of times. Okay, so that is the advantage you are going to have for this batch students. Okay, so now, so getting to the curriculum. So as I mentioned, FortiGate firewall, to go for a FCP certification, Fortinet certified professional certification, right? So you need to learn 2 products as per the vendor. You need, if you get trained with a Fortinet, directly Fortinet, they will cover this course as 2 part or 2 papers. One is called FortiGate security, another one is called FortiGate infrastructure. Okay, so the same kind, both the curriculums are included in our training program. So whatever the topics, whatever the content they will cover in a FortiGate security paper and FortiGate infrastructure paper, both will be covered in this training program. So obviously you will get, you, if you are prepared well, you by after completion of this training, and you can write FCP certification without any issues. Okay, so in terms of Palo Alto, if you want to get trained with a Palo Alto, direct Palo Alto, okay, so they will take this up to PCNSE, right? They will cover this training program in 3 different papers. One is called EDU 210, which is talk about, if you want to get PCNSA certification, you need to focus EDU 210 paper. If you want to get PCNSA certification, along with EDU 210 paper, you need to focus EDU 220, which is talk about panorama. Along with, you need to focus one more paper called EDU 330, which is talk about troubleshooting. Troubleshooting in Palo Alto devices. Okay, so it's just like not just like here in this troubleshooting, we will cover configuration related troubleshooting, protocol related troubleshooting, hardware related troubleshooting. Okay, and so CLI tools which we will use in a troubleshooting in a real-time scenario, right? Right, everything will be covered in this paper, guys. Okay, so our curriculum, which is also include all these 3 papers. Okay, so EDU 210, EDU 220, and EDU 330, guys. Clear? So if you are complete our curriculum, or if you want to get trained in a Palo Alto, direct Palo Alto network itself, then if you need to complete all these 3 training, then you are eligible to write PCNSE certification. Okay, so that's the reason we are taking 1.5 months to complete this Paloalto firewall. Okay, clear? So after Paloalto, checkpoint, as I mentioned, they will go with a separate paper like called CCS. There is no paper code like for Paloalto, CCSA and CCSC is a different kind of certification. Okay, training level. Two papers they will cover. One is for administrative level, another one is for expert level. Okay, and in terms of Cisco products, Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD, there is no certification training. It's because it's a different kind, it's a product based training. Here we are product based training only. We are covering all this FortiGate, checkpoint, Paloalto, but which is also included the certification content as I mean the curriculum as well. So you will able to write a certificate. But when in terms of Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD, their certification track is totally different. So if you are already in a certification track, Cisco certification track, Cisco career, right? If you're choosing a Cisco career and especially Cisco security product, if you're security domain, if you're choosing, right? So you must complete yes core paper. If you're looking for a core paper is a mandatory paper. You want to become either CCNP certified engineer, security certified engineer, or either CCIE security certified engineer. Okay, so the core paper, this is the mandatory paper. It's just like a FCP certification, core paper. Okay, so you need to have this written exam. If you are certified, then you can go with the just like a NSC4. If you want to become NSC4 certified engineer, you write a FCP certification, which is totally talk about the FortiGate firewall, and then you learn any other product like FortiManager or FortiAnalyzer, right? As a allied, I mean as a specialist certification, you are going to take any one of the product and you write the examination. If you are passed, then you will be called as a NSC4 engineer, right? The same way, you need to get some specialized certification. You need to write some specialized certification in Cisco product. If you are already completed S-core certification, you are a security core specialist certified engineer right now, right? And you want to become a CCNP certified security certified engineer. Then you have to choose some specialized certification program. In that, one of the specialized certification program is called Next Generation Firewall Specialist. Cisco Next Generation Firewall Specialist, which is included ASA firewall, top concepts of ASA firewall and Cisco FTD firewall plus FMC. FMC is nothing. It's similar to Paloalto Panorama. It's a centralized management device of Cisco Firepower devices. Okay, so our curriculum, which also include FMC as well. I forgot to mention that. Okay, in FTD firewall, you are going to learn Cisco FTD, Firepower Threat Defense Firewall, plus one more product called management product, which is similar to Paloalto Panorama and FortiGate FortiManager, Cisco FMC, Firepower Management Center. Okay, so these three product knowledge you must have. Okay, and you will become a next generation specialized engineer. If all these three product knowledge, if you have, you can go for a certification. For that, first you must complete a Cisco S-core certification. Okay, and if you're completed, you are a certified core security core concept certified engineer. Then if you're learning these three products, you can go for a specialized certification called Cisco Next Generation Firewall Specialist. And if you get this certification, you will become a CCNP security certified engineer. So if you are already in this track, then you can follow this. Okay, so clear. So this is the curriculum level we are going to cover in this 5IN1 Firewall Mastery Program, guys. Okay, so let me walk through about the curriculum. So let's start with Paloalto. So so deepest curriculum discussion, if you want, I'll share the previous batch recorded video sessions for you. Okay, so where I have clearly explained what is platform and architecture. I mean, what is the concepts or content we have inside each model. So that I have already explained. So if I started to explain Paloalto itself, it will take more than 1 hour. Okay. And we'll not able to complete within this 1 hour. Okay. So I just give you the fast walkthrough of this curriculum, and also I'll share that link where you can see deepest curriculum discussion. Okay. And then you can decide it, right? So in Palo Alto, as I mentioned, we are going to cover up to PCNSE, but here I have in all this PCNSE up to PCNSE. I told you, right? So there are three papers: EDU 210, EDU 220, EDU 330, right? So let me show you. So up to platform and architecture, where you are going to learn about the Palo Alto firewall approach, what is the architecture they are having to process the packet, and what is the important. This is the most important thing where you are going to interview, right? So definitely you will get us any at least one of the question from the architecture, and because this is the method, this architecture only play major role to Palo Alto occupy more market, because comparatively any other firewall, even though Palo Alto firewall is the one of the costliest firewall product, but this product only give a more efficient product. If you compare Palo Alto, FortiGate, Checkpoint, Cisco ASA, Cisco ASA, it's not in this list. So Cisco FTD, because it's a ASA is a traditional firewall, right? So all these four next generation firewall, Palo Alto with the same segment, okay, Palo Alto will give more throughput, which means processing. It has more processing power, where it can process more data than any other firewall, okay, and speedy as well. Okay, it's because of its architecture only, guys. So architecture. So definitely you will get question from the architecture. So that is called SP3 architecture, one of the famous architect. Okay, so ASP, this is the major role playing in the Palo Alto market. Okay, so this is one of the major reason, and application control. These two features are playing major role to dominate the firewall market by the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so even though it's a costlier device, comparatively FortiGate it's far more cheaper. Let's say Palo Alto PA 200 series is the entry level firewall. PA the same kind of firewall segment, you can go with the PA 40D. Sorry, not PA, FortiGate FG, FortiGate 40D model. This is cheaper than 30% cheaper than Palo Alto firewall. Okay, but still, in terms of throughput, this is the winning device. Okay, so that's the reason Palo Alto still it's dominating market. So this device still FortiGate, it's a cost efficient and value for money. So that's the reason FortiGate in also one of the major market leader than any other firewall. Okay, so even though it's a cheaper, it is also giving a more valuable things. So the difference we will discuss in a live session. Okay, so why FortiGate is dominating, for what reasons and all it is dominating, for what reasons and all Palo Alto is dominating the market. Definitely these questions you will get when you go for interview. So architecture and what is the difference between Palo Alto and FortiGate or Checkpoint, all this firewall. So we will discuss in the live sessions. Everything we will not able to discuss in here itself. Okay, so we will discuss in this live session. Okay, so sorry. After that, device management, how to manage your Palo Alto firewall, like as a for administrative purpose, like how to take a console through telnet, SSH, and how to take a backup, restore, right? So high availability, how to achieve the redundancy, load balancing, right? How to segregate the log, how to view the log, and how to generate the reports. Everything we'll discuss under device management. And then Paloalto interface configuration. So Paloalto, you can deploy it in a 5 different methods. If Paloalto data interfaces, you can deploy it in a 5 different ways for different type of functionalities and use cases. Okay, so that we will discuss later on the session. So you can deploy your Paloalto firewall as a NAT mode router, as a gateway device. You can deploy it as a Paloalto firewall in a transparent mode, okay, which means as a layer 2 firewalling segment. You can also deploy this Paloalto firewall just like a IPS, which will not do routing and switching functionalities, which will do only firewalling functionality, which will do filter the traffic based on the next generation features. But it will not do any L3 functions and any L2 functions. So that is called a virtual wire, and deepest way we will discuss later. And you can Palo Alto hardware, if you are using a Palo Alto hardware itself, they will give a dedicated high availability link. So for redundancy purpose, load sharing purpose. Okay. If you don't have, you can use your data links, data interfaces for HA purpose. If you're using that, that is called HA deployment. Okay. You can do, and this is called IDS deployment. Simply, I'm saying that deep for your understanding purpose. So IDS means it will do detection. It will not take any action, virus, or if it is identify any virus, malware, any threats, it will not take action against that. It will just identify and it will send the report to the, or it will send the report to the your log service. Okay, it will notify. Okay, but it will not take any action. So what is the purpose? Why we are purchasing the next generation firewall to detect Palo Alto firewall to detect and to prevent your any vulnerability in your production network. But why we need to use that Palo Alto firewall as idea? So there are some use cases, and we will discuss that in our live session. Okay. And then, so how to implement NAT in your Palo Alto firewall? So we'll discuss with the real-time use cases. What is source NAT? What is destination NAT? Okay, SNAT, DNAT. In DNAT, we'll go with the port mapping and port forwarding, right? So what is port mapping concept? What is port forwarding concept? How we can implement in a static method, dynamic method, and dip method. In Palo Alto, this dynamic PAT, actually you might hear about the NAT concept called PAT, port address translation. This port address translation in Palo Alto, they call it as a dip, dynamic IP and port. Okay, so how we have to implement everything, we'll implement in a NAT policy, security and NAT policy. How to create a basic security policy to allow or deny any users or any entire network any specific destination, along with to allow internet access, you need to implement NAT, right? So that's the reason I have included security policies and NAT policies under same unit. Okay, so and then I told you, right? So one of the major reason Palo Alto leading the market called application control. That feature is called App ID. Okay, so by using this feature, if you want to block any specific application, let's say in my production network, in my organization, my employees are using social networking applications. All social networking application I want to deny. Okay, so you can simply use App ID feature and you can block the filters. You can create the filters to block all social networking application related, all social networking related applications. Okay, but due to some concern, my sales team I need to allow. My sales team I need to allow Facebook or any social networking applications, right? So in that case, Facebook have a lot of function. It's a collaborator application which is having multiple micro applications. So if I allow my sales employees, I'm allowing or my internal employees to access social networking application which is related to my job perspective. But simply while allowing that Facebook, right, they might distracted and they might go with any personal chit chat or something else in a social networking. So I want to deny FB. I want to allow FB, Facebook, but chat function I want to disable it. texting function, I want to disable it. I am going to allow my sales employee to promote my products, like posting about our product, right? So that only I want, that only I want to allow. In that case, you can control micro level application. Okay. So the same way now while starting this session, right? So one of the students he tried to write something on my board, right? So in Zoom, this is one of the micro application. If you have a Paloalto firewall, you can allow that particular student to use that Zoom application, but I can restrict. I am going to allow him to attend the meeting, and I don't want to allow him to write something or anything else. Even it is available, that feature is available. I don't want to allow him. Okay. So in that case, if I have a in my production network here, if I have a Palo Alto firewall, I could implement that. I am going to in Zoom, I can share my screen. Also, I can allow someone to take a remote access. So now I don't want to allow to take a remote access of someone else. I want to allow, I'm going to share my screen. I want to allow you to see my screen. In that case, if I have a Palo Alto firewall, I can I can still allow my students to access my Zoom applications. Okay. And only for screen sharing. And I don't want to allow them to remote access. So in that case, however, I need to allow the Zoom applications and micro level of features. If I have a Palo Alto firewall, in efficient way, I can able to block it. That features. That is called App ID feature, and that we can able to achieve it in by the help of Palo Alto application. Not only Palo Alto, all next generation firewalls are having this feature, but in terms of efficient working, efficient result, Palo Alto give it than any other firewalls. Okay, so that's the reason. And Palo Alto implement this feature very first. Okay, that is the reason. Any other firewall later on that only any other next generation firewalls implemented this feature in their products. Okay, so that is the reason Palo Alto it's become a first one. I mean, it's become a market leader. Okay, this is the major one of the major reasons. So past 1 decade they are leading the market. Okay, they are achievers past 1 decade, almost more than 10 years. They are the first in this market leader. I mean, in this firewall market. It's because of these two features only. Okay, and they are giving multiple features and the efficient which is not given by other firewalls previously. So that was given by the Palo Alto. So the in the first in the market. So that is the reason. So they become a market leader. So comparatively FortiGate, comparatively Checkpoint is the first product, next generation firewall product compared. Okay, and then Cisco later on only they are coming to the next generation fire, especially in a firewall product. Previously they have a IPS products, but they don't have an integrated firewall. Later only they implement the FTD firewall. So that is one of the major disadvantage for Cisco. So that's why they will not able to rule the firewall industry like Palo Alto or FortiGate. Okay, but still they are the one of the major shareholders in the firewall industries. Okay, and like Palo Alto, FortiGate, Cisco, the previously they are not giving this feature. First, Palo Alto only they given this application control, App ID feature, and they are shown the result as well. So that's the reason. So these three products are the vendors are they are all already in the market. Okay, like Checkpoint in 1990s onwards, and Cisco also in 1990s onwards. Okay, but FortiGate in the earlier 2000 itself. Okay, and Palo Alto they come the market around 2008 only. Okay, but the youngest company comparatively is the Palo Alto Networks, but they are ruling the market. It's because of this awesome feature. Okay, so that's the reason, guys. Okay, fine. So after that, I want to allow or deny the specific user. Okay, I want to allow in sales we have a multiple employees. So in sales, I want to allow sales head or sales TL, right? So that person only I want to allow social networking access. And in management team, management head only I want to allow social networking. So in that case, you can use this user ID filter. So not only just using IP based filter or service based filters, like protocol port numbers, right? You can also use username, user ID based. I can detect who is using that application, who is who's using that services, that I can able to detect, and that too I can able to prevent the access as well, deny the access as well. Okay, that is because of user ID, and we will, while user ID filter, we will do with the integration, like what is Active Directory, remote user database, remote user management system. You can integrate with the Paloalto firewall, and you can authenticate authenticate them. Okay, so that is will achieve in a user ID feature. And content ID feature, this is the feature where it's like scanning the data. The scanning of your data is happen here. So watching or monitoring the data is happen through this feature only, like allowed user or allowed services when your internal user or external users are trying to access. So just the firewall will allow, but allowed user may do the malfunctioning activities, like he might inject the virus, malware, spyware, adware, or he might try to steal your digital assets in your company's digital assets, like data, like if it is a banking, so personal data, banking customers data, like whether they have a credit card number details, debit card number details, loan details, and their contact details, everything, it's a digital assets to that particular bank company, right? So if someone has tried to steal that information, it's a sensitive data, right? So like credit card information is there, and account statement is there. So if someone wants to steal that information, definitely they will misuse the data, right? So we should protect that information. So everything, it's achieved by the help of content ID feature, where data leakage protection. This is called data leakage protection. The sensitive data should not be leaked, right? So the hacker, they should not steal the information, right? So for that, we have this feature called data leakage protection. Okay, that is done by the help of content ID feature. All these features we can able to implement by the help of content ID feature, that can be done by monitoring the data, allowed data, okay, allowed you activities, right? So monitoring, or simply says that we are going to scan whatever the data communication is going through on your firewall. Okay, so that is help of content ID feature. So that we will include. Okay, and also if you want to block, same like application control, I want to block the vulnerable website, unused website, right? So, and in my production network, I don't want to allow my employees to use any other websites which is not related to their jobs. Okay, in that case, we can use URL filter to block that websites, right? So, and this decryption process, if suppose user is, this decryption will help to the firewall to understand while scanning the data. If suppose, let's say, user one, he is an employee and he is trying to download something in the internet, you allow that internet services. Let's say he tried to download some document file. This document file, it's a encrypted document file. Okay, it's using HTTPS services. It's a encrypted data. Okay, but in this data, hacker injected some malicious code, like virus, malware, something he injected. So if suppose this data is passing here, firewall will try to open. Firewall must, the data is allowed, the communication is allowed, but the data, whether it is a safest data or it's harmful to our production network, that we need to make sure it, right? So this, if it is, your firewall need to scan, while scanning that, it's a encrypted data, so your firewall will not able to read what kind of data is that, whether it is a valid or it is a vulnerable, right? So it will not able to read the functionality of that data. So since it's an encrypted one, so we need to decrypt that encrypted data. Okay, then we need to analyze this. We need to scan the data, and if everything is okay, then only we'll do re-encrypt the data, and we'll hand over the data to the users. If safe, if it is not safe, then we will deny it. And that is happens, it's because of the decryption features only. You need to enable that feature. By default, your firewall will not do decryption. As an administrator, you need to enable this feature by using this feature. Okay, this concept, this is called a decryption, guys. So that is included. So, and global product, it's above the VPN. Okay, so global product is the feature which is called SSL VPN or remote VPN. It's an application, Paloalto proprietary application. By using this application, we can able to establish the SSL VPN between the remote user to your your organization. Okay, so that also will be covered here. And then, so up to 10, and along with that, I forget to add here one more VPN product. Actually, IPsec VPN, that is also included. Actually, it's missing here. So under model 10, it's VPN. One of the VPN is global product SSL VPN and IPsec VPN. Okay, so module 1 to module 10, it's talk about as per when the Paloalto, okay, EDU 210 paper. You will learn model 1 to model 10 EDU 210 paper, under EDU 210 paper. And model 11, okay, sorry, model 11 site-to-site VPN is included. Sorry, yes. So IPsec site-to-site VPN also included. So that is separated model I have included. That's fine. So model 1 to model 11, it's talk about your EDU 210 paper. And model 12, it's talk about EDU 220 paper, where you are going to learn about the panorama. What is panorama? How to integrate your Paloalto firewall into the panorama? How to manage from panorama? How to create a security policies and deploy the policies into the panorama? I mean, from panorama to Paloalto firewall, and how to do patch updates from panorama to all your 100. One of the major advantages in your organization, if you have 100 Paloalto firewall and some patch update is given by the Paloalto networks for some features, like let's say application control patch feature, they given some update, or URL filter database, they given some update, that you need to be update all your 100 Paloalto firewalls. If you don't have a panorama, all these 100 Paloalto firewalls manually you need to take access of your each and individual Paloalto firewall, and you need to do the same activities you need to do patch update, and the same activities you need to do 100 times. But if you have a panorama, you can push you can do updates by single time within a few clicks. You can, while doing a first time itself, you can publish all the update to all your 100 Paloalto firewalls simultaneously. So while doing some task repeatedly, there is a manpower you need, and there is a manual error might be happen. But when you do some automations, right? So all barriers will be released, right? So, and you will have some time management as well. You can reduce some time management as well. You can reduce your time, and you can reduce your effort, and you can reduce your manpower, right? So it makes your job very easy, guys. It's not only for the patch update. You can also create the policy from panorama to Paloalto firewall. You can implement that. You can create the object, right? Everything you can do through panorama. Okay, so everything you will learn in this module 12, which is talk about EDU 220 paper. This is separately 220 paper. Okay. And then model 13, which is talk about EDU 330 paper, where you are going to learn. So we are going to capture the packet, and we are going to learn the packet flow of Paloalto firewall and packet capture we are going to do, and we are going to use some CLI tools for the troubleshooting purpose and other CLI tools. And if you have a hardware related issue, how to fix the hardware-based configuration, hardware-based issues, or if you want to raise the ticket with a Paloalto, even though you are well versed having knowledge in a Paloalto firewall, if suppose you don't have some solution or you need some support, and you can register Paloalto tag, the device will be registered with the Paloalto tag, right? And you can seek for the support from the Paloalto customers technical support team, and how to register your product in Paloalto technical team, tag account, and how to seek the support for them, support from them, and how to raise the ticket if you have a hardware related issue, and if you have some warranty guarantee and all, how to escalate and how to get that products, right, by creating the tickets, and how to reach the hardware team, right? It is a support escalation, and RAM, it's nothing, it's a hardware related team where you have a hardware warranties, right? So you want to get some replacement, or you want to fix that issue, hardware related issues. So you need to seek this support from this team only. So how to approach them, and how to capture the packet, how to troubleshoot, everything we'll discuss under module 13, which is purely talk about UDE 330 paper. Okay, and model 14, it's the last one, which is about exam preparation. Here, how each and every examination, like in PCNSA, how if you're looking for a PCNSA certification, how to prepare, and what are the certificate, question weightage will come with each domain, each concepts, right? And how to prepare for that, and each each domain or each concept, which are all the most needed to focus things, right? So everything we'll discuss in this certification preparation model 14, guys. Okay, so we'll have a separate session for that. Okay, so everything will cover under model 14, guys. So this is the detailed course curriculum of your Paloalto, which is covered PCNSE and PCNSE both. Okay, and coming to the FortiGate firewall, so same like Paloalto, here you will discuss about the FortiGate in architecture, and then FortiGate infrastructure, like platform, like FortiGate. What are the FortiGate firewall products we have in a hardware based, in a virtual machine based model, right? So we'll discuss about some data sheets of some models. Okay, and how to how to register your firewall into the Fortinet tag account, and how to apply the licenses. Everything we'll discuss in a module 1 itself, and platform, security platform. Okay, and then it's just an overview. I'll give you the architecture overview and firewall concepts. Okay, and how to register your firewall product. Okay, and then along with that, license approach as well. And under module 2, it's a device management. So here where you're going to see how to take a backup and restore, an automated backup, right? How to create a multiple admin user account with a different kind of privileges. Okay, that and all we'll discuss under device management. And third model, firewall policy, how to create a firewall security policies in FortiGate firewall, and different kind of firewall policy we have. So how to create each kind of firewall policies, right? And how to validate the duplicacies and everything we'll see under module 3. Module 4, it's talk about the NAT, like similarly in Paloalto, here also we'll discuss about source NAT, a destination NAT, and port forwarding, port mapping. Okay, and here the NAT implementation is little bit different. You can implement within your security policy, and separately you can create a NAT policy as a separate policy as well. So both the implementation we will do here. We'll do in NAT module 4. Module 5, how to register, how to integrate your FortiGate firewall into the AD server. So for user authentication purpose, like, okay, so how to allow or deny some users based on the user and user group, right? And that users, either you can create local user database in your FortiGate firewall, or you can go with the remote user management system like AD server, TACAs, like that. We'll integrate with the AD server, LDAP server. Okay, by using one more application is called FSS, so Fortinet single sign-on, which is make easier to the integration with with FortiGate firewall and active directory servers. Okay, so that we'll discuss under module 5. And module 6, similarly, we have a next generation firewall, which is like when you want to block or deny any specific services. I mean, sorry, if it's a deep inspection, like monitoring or scanning your traffic for virus and malware, right? And then any intrusions, right? And also here we are, along with this model, we'll discuss about the application controller as well. And model 7, it's discuss about the URL web filter, which is talk about URL filter, okay, along with file filtering as well, file filtering concepts as well, okay. And data leakage protection also we have in FortiGate firewall, similar to Paloalto, because both are next generation firewall. How to identify any any sensitive data is data transaction is going to happen, whether it is a data theft or if it is data theft, how to deny that. Everything we'll discuss under data leakage protection. And model 9, which is talk about the redundancy and load balancing concepts like high availability. So we have active, passive, and active both the deployments. In Paloalto also we have that both the deployment. Okay. So I think that is missed here. Here I have included here itself under device management. Okay. So and up to model 9, right? So I told you, right? So there are 2 different type of paper. If you want to become a FCP certified engineer, you need to get trained in a FortiGate. You want to get trained in a FortiGate itself, and you need to complete FortiGate security paper and infra paper, right? So model 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and model 7, model 8. It's up to model 8, right? And model model 11 SSL VPN, right? Model 8 and model 11 SSL VPN, it's only model 11. It will cover under FortiGate security paper. Model 9, model 10, model 11 and 12, 11 partially, and 12 SD-WAN implementation, VDOM implementation, and troubleshooting. Model 9 to 9, 11, then 11 to 14, sorry, 15. Okay, so make it as 14 itself. So these models will be covered under Fortinet infrastructure paper. Okay, so so both will be covered in our curriculum. Okay, so model 10, how to implement the routing protocols. Static. Here you must, the prerequisites to learn any next generation firewall, at least you must have a CCNA level of knowledge. You must have a networking, basic networking concept, what is switching, what is routing, right? So here, how to implement the routing protocols in FortiGate firewall, static and dynamic routing protocols in your FortiGate firewall. We'll see. We are not going to teach you what is routing, what is what is OSPF protocol, and what is BGP and all, and how to use that and all. You already learned in a CCNA level. Okay. So that protocols we will implement. We will configure that protocols and we will check the route exchange and all. How to configure this OSPF protocol or BGP, right? So these protocols in your FortiGate firewall we will see. Okay, but if you want to know more about the concept, how OSPF is working, how BGP is working, what is OSPF, what is BGP, what is dynamic routing protocol, right? So if you don't know that, here you learn all this stuff in CCNA itself, right? So that's because this is the prerequisites to learn any next generation firewall, either CCNA or you must have a knowledge of CompTIA plus networking fundamentals. Okay, then you are eligible to learn any next generation firewall size. Clear? So under SD-WAN, here SD-WAN implementation in FortiGate firewall. So how to manage multiple WAN links in an automated way by the help of SD-WAN feature, and how your FortiGate SD-WAN is selecting the best link, in what are which are all the aspects it's choosing the best link, and how to we have to give some priority for some link. But that and all we'll discuss under here, module 12. And module 13, it's talk about vDOM. vDOM, it's nothing, it's a virtual domain. It's similar to if you are, so you might have a knowledge CCNA, I hope CCNA, and there you might have a knowledge of VLAN, right? So what is VLAN? If you have one single LAN network, and for better administrative purpose, we are going to logically splitting as a multiple LAN subnet by using single physical hardware, right? So that is called VLAN. The same way, if you have a physical FortiGate firewall, single physical FortiGate firewall, I want to split logically multiple logical firewalls. Okay, and that is called vDOMs, virtual domain. So each vDOMs act like as individual firewalls. Okay, you can deploy like that. So that we will see under vDOM. Okay, and model 14, it's talk about troubleshooting, how to capture the packet, and what is the packet flow, and how to view the logs, right? And how to capture how to troubleshoot the protocol configuration wise, protocol wise, everything you'll see under model 14. And model 15, it's talk about the exam preparation, about FCP certification. Okay, so I guess, and then in checkpoint, we are covering up to CCSA and CCSP. Okay, so all the above features which we talked about, right? So here same way, introduction to the checkpoint firewall and introduction to the checkpoint architecture. Checkpoint architecture is the one of the toughest concepts. So if you go for an interview with the checkpoint knowledge, they will ask you what is distributed deployment, or what is standalone deployment. They might ask what is, I guess, just a minute. So they will ask what is the standalone deployment and what is the distributed deployment. What is the three pillar of your architecture? These architectures, standalone and distributed deployment, right? So, or in another way, what is two-tier architecture? What is three-tier architecture? What is the major components in checkpoint firewall? It's all talk about the architecture only. So that will be very much needed one, and that will be very difficult one to understand. So if you go for an interview, definitely they will get asked question from the because it's a little bit toughest deployment options, or you can say it's a more when you're deploying in a three-tier architecture. So it will you need two different firewalls, two different checkpoint hardwares to implement the firewall features. Okay, so that and all you will come to know while learning the architecture. Okay, and after that, all the under initial configuration itself, we'll see what is how to take a backup, how to take a snapshot on, how to register the product, how to upgrade the licenses, and how to do patch updates, right? Everything. The initial configuration through standalone deployment, initial configuration through distributed deployment, everything we'll see under module 3. Module 4, how to create a security policy in checkpoint firewall, and NAT policy, security policy, and okay, and we have a different kind of policy layers, and we have a different kind of software, the features like in checkpoint firewall only, you can decide whatever the feature you want. If you purchase on checkpoint hardware, it will by default it will not support all the features. As administrator, I need a firewalling features to control the filters. To block or allow deny some traffic. Then I need to enable by default firewall feature only enable. That feature is called firewall software blade, firewall blade, or simply you can consider that firewall blade. If you want to use a next generation features like application control, URL filter, file blocking, right? So content leakage protections, then you need to, they have a different kind of application control separate software blade, URL filter separate software blade, right? And IPS activities like antivirus profile, malware protection, antivirus, right? So intrusion protection, everything separately. Antivirus features separately, IPS features separately, antibot separately. All are by default disabled, and these features, as an administrator, you need to manually enable. But if you go for any other firewall like Paloalto or FortiGate, they are inbuilt features. So if you have a that features you can easily implement. You don't need to go anywhere. If you first, while purchasing the product, you need to register the product. If you have registered the product, you have all the features. Okay, so that features by default it is enabled. Okay, you no need to enable in other firewalls, but FortiGate, sorry, checkpoint firewall, it's not like that. You need to enable manually, guys. Okay, so how to manage this software blades, everything we'll see while doing this security policy and fire policy layers and NAT policy and that. Okay, NAT separately you can implement NAT. Okay, and how to use, okay, up to this, and IPsec VPN and SSL VPN model 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and 8. So model 8, right? So totally first seven models will be covered under CCSA itself. If you want to go for a CCSC and the advanced firewall features like application control and URL filter, file blocking, everything as per the latest curriculum of checkpoint, the previously it is included in a CCSA itself, this feature. Okay, but right now this feature is moved on to the CCSA itself. Okay, and additionally the VPN moved on to the CCSA itself, and then high availability cluster active passive deployment and active deployment, high availability in CCSA itself moved on it. Okay, these two features are not there in previous CCSA. Okay, but this feature is there in a previous CCSA certification, but right now they have moved this concept into the CCSA itself, and how to implement your VPN concept and high availability, and how to verify the logs, and what are the features we have to do troubleshoot, how to different kind of monitoring tools we have, how to utilize this monitoring tool, what is smart event, what is smart reporter, what is smart view tracker, right? So these are the different kind of applications, so which is inbuilt in your firewall, but we need to manually enable that features. Okay, so that and all will be covered, and then we'll troubleshoot how to capture the packet, or how to analyze the packet, and how to verify the log, packet flow, everything we'll discuss under troubleshooting, guys. So all these models, troubleshooting, monitoring report, high availability, VPN, model 7, these all comes under CCSA. Okay. So next we have a Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD. So Cisco ASA the same way. Okay. So Cisco ASA will not support. It's a traditional firewall which is not supporting all. You can filter that firewall. The firewall will support NAT routing features, VPN, L3 features, all routing, VPN, NAT, and as a firewall it can allow or deny the traffic based on the layer 3 filters like IP based filters and layer 4 filters, protocol based filters, service based filters. But if you want to do monitor the traffic, like if you want to block websites, applications, file blocking, you right? So user based access, that and all, if you want to achieve this traditional firewall, your ASA firewall will not support. Okay, so your ASA curriculum will include routing, VPN, NAT, and your firewall access list, creating access list to allow or deny the traffic based on the IP based, protocol based, service based, and you can implement high. It is supporting the high availability as well. So you can, the high availability will be enabled, like HA will be covered here. So active passive deployment and active deployment, HA clustering. Okay. So what is cluster? How to enable active and active passive, and all we'll discuss. And what is IPsec VPN, SSL VPN, and how to generate the logs, right? And how to view the logs, and how to capture the packets, and troubleshooting for the above concepts like policy ACL creations and NAT, or deploy your firewall into the layer to move, high availability troubleshoot, VPN configuration troubleshoot, like everything will cover. But next generation features will not be covered. And Cisco FTD, along this, or you have already know how to create a security policies, and then access list, and how to implement NAT, everything in a Cisco ASA. The same way, in Cisco ASA, we'll do it everything in a CLI itself, and GUI. We'll walk through the GUI. Okay, and once if you know CLI and GUI, it's very easy to implement. So in CLI, we'll walk through. Sorry, GUI we will walk through in that Cisco ASA firewall. And when it comes to the Cisco FTD, we'll walk through the full GUI, full-fledged GUI support is there in your Cisco FTD along with FMC. Okay, all the features we will implement separately with the Cisco FTD and along with the Cisco FMC, where it is, Firepower Management System. So the beginning itself, we'll integrate your Cisco FTD firewall with FMC device. We'll see how to create and security policy and deploy the policy into the firewall and everything through FMC. We'll discuss this. Okay, and the same way, like Cisco, like NAT will be covered, and all next generation features like application control, URL filter, user-based authentication, active directory integration, right? So high availability, data leakage protection, everything will be covered, and troubleshooting about the FMC issue and about the FTD issues, everything will be covered in this 5IN1 this FTD firewall as well. Okay, so this is that's all about the 5IN1 firewall program, mastery program. Okay, curriculum discussion. So once if you get trained all these products, you are eligible to write almost CCN. You're eligible to write FCP certification in FortiGate, and you're eligible to write PCNSA, PCNSE certifications in Paloalto firewall, and you're eligible to write CCSA. Just attending the session is not going to give the knowledge. So you have to do your hands-ons. Okay. So we'll help you for that. So we'll give you the lab manuals and we'll give you the task, everything. So you have to do your hands-on guys. Okay, CCSA, then only you will get knowledge of these products properly. Then you are eligible to write examinations. CCSC, and there is no specific certification in terms of Cisco AS and FTD, but if you're, it's optional only. If you're already in an S-Core, you can go with the next generation firewall specialist certification. Okay. Almost 5+ certification you are eligible to write after completion of this training program guys. Okay. And writing having a certification is not mandatory until unless your employer is demanding. Okay, if they are demanding, you can go with that particular certification guys. Okay, and you can ask some time to them to get the certification. Okay, you can some organization will provide the certification cost as well. They will be sponsor you FortiGate certification. If you have that opportunity, please try to utilize it. Okay, so you don't need to spend your own money, and you can able to get this. Okay, so if you are fresher and if you have already have a CCNA knowledge, or you're working under some network support or some other job, right? Some other organization which is not related to networking, but you have a knowledge of this product. You want to go with the networking or network security domain, then you must do any one of the certification. So the certificate you can go with. My suggestion, if you are that kind of people, you can go with the Paloalto PCNSE certification. It's a one of the cheapest but more valuable certification. Okay, so it's cost around 180 USD plus tax. Okay, you have you have a 3 years validity for that, and you can upgrade any certification with any other certification program. You can go with a Paloalto. Okay, so if you want. Okay, so yeah, so if you are attend this training, who for the security jobs, you are working as a network engineer, a network support, or NAC engineer, you want to move on to the network security domain, right, or network domain. So nowadays, networking domain itself, they are asking a firewall management, firewall guys. Okay, so actually, this is a non-modified thing. So actually, the batch will start on coming Wednesday, so which is going to start on 18th December, guys. Okay, so if you learn these 5 firewall products, definitely it will be upgradable to your career. Okay, you get a lot of opportunity, and since why I'm saying that, they are the market leaders. So they are mostly occupied the network firewall industry. So more than 60% of the industries are using firewalls with this product only. This any of this four firewall product, they have already they have any one of at least one of the product they have. So you have a lot of job opportunity. When you're seeking for job, you have a more opportunity than any other person who has one product, having one product knowledge. Okay, so and it is not mandatory you have to attend all this 5 firewall. If you're looking for any specific, like since we are starting with a FortiGate firewall in this in this batch, we are going to start with 48. Actually, we are starting 2 firewalls. Okay, I mean 2 batches. One is my evening batch 7 to 8. Okay, that is starting with FortiGate firewall. And if you're looking for the morning batch, weekdays, all those batches are weekdays batches, and we don't have a weekend batch with in terms of firewall products. Okay, so in morning batch, the same day we are starting morning 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. as per Indian Standard Time. If you are from the different geographic location, you can just compare your timing. Okay, in 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. and as per Indian Standard Timing, which is going to start with ASA as a first product. Okay, those who are looking with the firepower devices, and if you want to learn firepower firewall, and you can join with the morning itself. And if you want to learn all entire 5-in-1 firewall and you have a morning timing only, then you can join with the morning batch, which is going to start with ASA firewall. Or the person who want to start with all the firewall with the evening timing, then you can go with this batch, and this batch is going to start with FortiGate. Or if you are looking only for FortiGate, you can join one FortiGate firewall itself. Okay, and related to the course fees. So actually, we are giving actual cost for this all 5 firewalls is around 40,000 INR. Okay, and 600 USD for abroad students. And right now we are giving a 50% offer for the year-end sale. Okay, so you can take this all this 5-in-1 firewall combo for 20,000 INR itself. Okay, for instead of 40,000, 20,000 itself, you can take this course, and you do have installment option as well. You can take this 5-in-1 firewall mastery program for 3 installment if you're looking for that. This installment payment option only for the people who is taking a 5-in-1 firewall mastery program. So first installment should be a 50% of your course fee while joining. So you have to pay 10,000 INR. Okay. And after completion of your first firewall, when you enter into the second firewall training program, that time you can make your second installment, which is in remaining 50,000, 50%, you have to pay 5,000 INR. And third, after completion of second firewall, when you enter into the third firewall training program, that time you have to make third installment, remaining 5,000 INR. Okay. And the people from abroad, right? So other countries, so you have to pay. You'll also get 50% offer. So instead of 600 USD, you will get this course for 300 USD itself. And this you also have options to make an installment payment. So if you're making an installment payment, first installment you have to pay 50%, so 150 USD, 75 USD plus tax based on the conversion tax based on the platform which you are going to pay. Like we'll usually receive through PayPal, or you can directly you can do ship payment as well to our app. Okay, so the payment you can contact us and we'll share the payment details. Okay, and payment gateways and all. So on 50 and 75 USD, and then third one 75 USD. Okay, so the installment you can pay. And if you're looking, those who are all ready to make a single payment, you will get additional offer. Like you can take this entire 5-in-1 firewall, or if you're from India, you will make this entire 5-in-1 firewall for 15,000 rupees itself. You will get 5,000 extra. So 15,000 itself, you can take this course. Okay, and then if you're from abroad, you will get 60 USD as offer. So you can take this entire 5-in-1 firewall as 240 USD plus based on the tax, transaction tax. Okay. So to cost is 240 USD, guys. So you know, so this is only for the people who is taking in single payment, who is doing single payment, guys. Okay. So regarding the payment gateway, if you are from India, you can make your payment through IMPS, or you can make through payment UPA. Okay, you can make a payment through UPA and all. Okay, and if you are from abroad, you can pay through PayPal, or you can go with the SIP payment, or you can choose your Wise product or a Wise application you can use, or based on your country, so which is feasible to you to make your payment. So you can contact us and we will suggest you the best application platform where you can make your payment. Okay. And regarding the batch timing, I already explained. So batch is going to start 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. in an evening batch, and morning batch 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. in a morning batch. And then so evening batch is going to start with FortiGate, and morning batch is going to start with ASA as a first product. Okay, and regarding the hands-on, we are using a virtual lab, so we are using a tool called EVNG, where you can do your hands-on. So you can register your if you want, if you're looking at lab access from we do provide our virtual lab. So you must register for that lab. So per day per session you can use maximum 2 hours for lab access. Per week you can access 2 sessions. Okay, 4 hours lab you can access, and that you can access based on the availability. You have to register for that. Okay, so after joining, we'll give you the available slot. So you can choose the slot based on your availability and based on the lab availability. If you're looking our own lab setup. If you want to create your own lab setup, we will give you the tools, the same virtual lab tools we will give you even along with the files, whatever the devices here we are going to learn, like ASA, FortiGate, FTD, FMC, Paloalto, everything we will give you guys. Okay, all the image files, OVF file, virtual files or virtual operating system files will be given to you, and we will guide you how to create your own lab setup. And if you're facing any difficulties, I'll take a remote access and I'll assist you. So while starting the batch itself, so first introduction of the firewall it will go, then lab setup it will go, then only after completion of lab setup only we'll go with the actual curriculum, guys. Okay. So and after this demo, like for sample lab manuals with any of the product, I'll share with you, and demo session recorded videos I'll share with you guys. Okay, if you're looking for the demo session recorded videos as well. So any doubts as of now? So I was planned to take a introduction to the firewall session as well today, but unfortunately it's taking much time. Okay, so tomorrow also we do have demo session, so we'll continue that session on tomorrow. First 1 hour I'll explain what is firewall and how to use this what are the features we have, and what is the difference between the multiple firewalls, what kind of firewalls we have, and what are the difference between them. That we will discuss in the first 1 hour session. Then next 1 hour I'll go with since we any either Paloalto or FortiGate, any of the product I'll choose, and I'll take a random topic with that product, or initial configurations we'll go with that. Based on the timing, we'll go with that, guys. Okay. Any queries as of now, guys?